everybody, welcome back to another episode of Project E46. Today I wanted to give a sort of State of the Union kind of update on the car and what's been going on in the past couple weeks. So as many of you know, I uploaded the first ever drift day video with this car. I was able to take it to the track and go drifting, and overall the car was pretty reliable, which is a good thing. However, as I mentioned in that video and as you might have seen, the car needs a few tweaks. It is not ideal as you would expect from a budget build. So there were a few things I did want to address, and I'm going to be talking about that today. I also want to do some sort of housekeeping and let you know. First off, thank you to everyone who watches these videos, especially to you all who leave comments. The YouTube comment section can be a pretty brutal place, but so far everyone seems to be pretty stoked on the car and what I've been doing with it. So thank you to everyone who watches along and leaves comments. Really appreciate it. Additionally, excuse me. Additionally to that end, it brings me to my next section, or tangent, I suppose, my next tangent. I've been trying to upload these videos as frequently as possible to keep you all updated with the car. But to that end, this is something I do on the side for fun. But still, I'm trying to get it into a regular schedule that I can keep up with. And to that end, Project E46 updates are going to be coming every Friday now. So every Friday around 8 a.m., check your subscription box, or if not subscribed, just check the channel and see what's going on with the car. Okay, with all that covered, I can finally jump into what's going on with the car. So, as always, I try to film everything that happens with this car, everything I do to it, because it's a project car, and that's what you want to see. It's a project. Things are always happening with it. But at the last drift event, there were a few weak areas the car had that I really had to address before I go to another drift event. Okay, step number one was the suspension. Although I had enough time to do all the rear suspension bushings and the chassis reinforcement, I did not have enough time to actually replace the springs or shocks. I actually looked at the part numbers and found out they are the original units from when the car was sold in 1999, which explains why the car was so soft and roly-poly. Funny anecdote, I'm not sure if that came through on the drift video, but there were a few sections, or a few instances I should say, where the car was so soft from the blown shocks and the stock springs that when I would transition the car from left to right or right to left, I would actually scrape the side skirts on the bottom because the car was just so soft and had so much roll, and there was just no controlling it. So to that end, although I did not film this, I apologize. I did pick up a very, very budget-oriented suspension setup. I found a guy who was parting out a modified E46 M3. Did some Google searching and found out that a lot of the suspension parts from an M3 will fit a non-M E46. So I picked up the following parts from his car. Bilstein HD front struts, along with E46 M3 front top hats, E46 M3 OEM rear shocks, and then E46 M3 spec Eibach Pro Kit lowering springs. So that's basically a complete spring and shock setup. I bought it for $80. Wow, that's really, really cheap. And that's what I have on the car now. So although I didn't get a chance, I didn't have enough time to find these sorts of deals before the drift day. After the fact, now I have some more time. That's what I was able to come up with after being very patient and looking on Craigslist and Facebook ads. So, I didn't film the install, but I have a few pictures. Sorry, I should have filmed it. My bad. It was just kind of in a hurry. E46 suspension swaps are very, very simple. I had the front struts replaced in like 10 minutes and the rear suspension swapped out in like 20. It's probably the easiest car I've ever seen to do spring and shock swaps on. Very, very simple. If you want, please leave a comment below. I can do the DIY on it in the future. It's very easy to walk you through. So yes, the car now rolls on Bilstein HD front struts, the Eibach Pro Kit lowering springs, and the M3 OEM rear shocks. Additionally, those M3 front top hats have a bit more camber built in from the factory, which is nice and will help give the front end a little bit more bite when it was desperately lacking. Okay, so that's the suspension side of things figured out. The next biggest issue I had was the car's gearing. As you may know, 328i's with a 5-speed manual transmission have the laziest gearing of any E46 generation vehicle. The gear spacing is pretty lazy, and the axle ratio, the rear diff ratio, is the slowest one you can get with a 293 rear end. Obviously, I need to upgrade that, so I've been looking at different upgrades, and that will come in a future video. I'm going to swap diffs to something more aggressive, and hopefully improve the gearing, so at low speeds the car has more pickup. The next big thing is obviously the one I'm sitting in. The car is a non-sport package car, so it has like the flat seats that have no lateral support, and I was sliding around all over the place. So to that end, I picked up a Sparco Sprint bucket seat. I didn't film the suspension, but I did film the seat install. That is coming soon. So I will show you how to install a bucket seat in the E46. For the most part, a pretty straightforward process, as you'll see in that video. So yes, those are the things I've done to the car, the suspension upgrades, and a couple of things that will be going on in the near future, along with the updates on the programming schedule. I basically have the next, I think, 5 or 6 episodes roughly figured out as to when they're going to be coming up, and like I said, they will be uploaded on YouTube every Friday around 8 a.m. Let's see, I think that's it. I upgraded the suspension, which obviously is much firmer and much nicer now. I got a bucket seat in here, and I have a lot more stuff planned for this car. As always, stay tuned, I guess, now every Friday around 8 a.m. Thank you very much for watching. Please continue leaving the comments, I really appreciate it. Even if you hate on me, I like those the most. And stay tuned, because I have a lot of fun things planned with this car. I can't think of all the ones off the top of my head, but I think I already have 2 or 3 episodes filmed, and a couple more are planned. And like I said, coming out once a week. Sorry if I'm rambling, kind of just doing this off the cuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.